Oh, this is something I want to see. Is Japan turning racist? I've been doing a lot of fucking content about Japan and what's going on in Japan right now, or like in Europe, but because I want to go to Japan, but according to this, apparently it's about to get really fucking bad right now.
Already exceeding us and might be
It's gonna get really fucking bad for foreigners, for people that look like me, like this round eyes right here, against what's going on right now, man. But let's see what he has to say. Let's see what, my bad, what the Japan reporter, because he's actually Japanese, he explained what's going on right now.
2025 might be the worst year as a foreign resident for two big reasons. The massive increase of tourism causing a lot of frustration among Japanese people. In cities like Kyoto, they already exceeding us and might be more and more difficult to clearly distinguish them. Some tourists give you a lot of negative impressions.
Some tourists have been seen entering private residential property without permission and even sitting down there.
のんびりと暮らせませんよ、言うたら。もう家の前にも勝手に持って玄関開けてくる人も外国人の。
Secondly, the rhetoric's widespread through social media, with a lot of misinformation about foreigners. It's been driven by the party Sanseido, which gained many seats.
Japan first, yeah, see, they have the same thing that we have here in America. The America first slogans going on in Japan, and not just Japan, in other countries across the planet, too. Predominantly like first world nations. Japan is the first one to be, to getting a little taste of that. And I could honestly, with all what's going on right now, I can honestly see why. I can honestly see why Japan is moving to that point.
In parliament and popularity among the younger generation.
A lot of the misinformation being spread by this far-right party, but it seems...
And it's crazy that it's from the younger generation. You think that, being super conservative and being more like insular is a more like elder type of thing, like old person type of thing. But no, if the younger generation are doing it, then you have a problem, because young people are typically more liberalistic. They typically are more, I guess, inclusive, if you want to say it, but not anymore. I mean, there was also a study like there's more conservative Gen Zers and Gen Alphas. I'd say more Gen Zers compared to the previous generation. And I think like half of the millennials are also conservative as well. So that are young, like under the age of like 40 or something like that. So yeah, if you have the younger generation that's becoming more conservative, then I don't know what the hell y'all liberals are doing, bro. Seriously.
Have failed spectacularly. Maybe it even gave them more attention, get their news on the internet, so they don't trust what newspapers and television say anyway. Significant increase in immigrants. The far right has used this, calling it a stealth immigration policy, and they are making major gains now.
To be fair though, some in the parliament criticize it a lot and worry about the possible increase of racism. He's one of those consistently sounding the alarm.
外国人がって騒いでますけれど、クルド人がどうした、中国人がどうした、外国人に対してこう。
Oh, let me see that again. Hold on.
外国人が
People are saying foreigners are the problem.
って騒いでますけれど、クルド人がどうした。
Kurds are a problem. So from Kurds, was it from Kurdistan? Hold on, let me check something. Hold on. My bad. Because I'm a little bit ignorant about the Kurds. I'm not sure if, hold on a second. Kurdistan. Okay, so it's not even that good. I don't think they even have a country. Okay. They don't have a country. So I'm looking at this map right here. This is Turkey, Syria, Armenia. Yeah, they don't have a country. Okay, never mind. Chinese are bad. Oh, that's, I always found it funny, bro. I always found it funny. Like, I guess they don't have the same concept of like unity compared to like the West has. So I'm speaking specifically from Europe. Like, for example, if you have like other Europeans going into Europe because they need help or like asylum or something like that, I don't think other Europeans will have an issue like accepting them at all. Like, for example, especially like if they come from the same language branch families, because if that's the case, they have very similar values and stuff like that. For example, in France, if there's issues going on with like, let's say Spain right now, and a lot of people are migrating elsewhere, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard for Spaniards to integrate into like France, like southern France specifically, or Portugal, or even Italy, because they come from the same root. There's a lot of cultural similarities. The languages are almost similar. Same thing with others as well. But I guess like Chinese people, they're saying like Chinese are bad and shit like that. Like Northeast Asians share very specifically, like Northeast Chinese people share a lot of similarities with Japanese people. And even they're saying like if they're bad and stuff like that, like damn.
中国人がどうした、外国人に対して怖いです。
And fear of foreigners only keep rising now.
思いばっかりでかくなって、でこの先日本の国内の中でものすごく肩身狭い思いしますよ。海外から来た人。日本人でないっていうだけで何かしら危害加えられる可能性だって高まってくるかもしれない。
And recently we have.
So I guess they assume that just because you're foreigner, you're at risk of getting hurt or something like that. I don't believe that's the case, man. I believe that yes, there are some foreigners who are nuisances, as they would call it, but it's not all of them. Come on. And I think most Japanese people are incredibly intelligent. I think they know that. They know that it's not all foreigners, but they're at this point where it's already been enough is enough. Their country is not doing so well. So yeah, I mean, we all expected this not right wing, like this type of movement, this nationalism to come up. Again, I can't blame them.
A growing concern about the trend even among the Japanese community. For example, elderly in Tokyo.
外国人をね、いい人たちなの。とってもね、大事にしてくれっていうか、とっても皆さん親切で、それが今なってるでしょ。だから本当になんかね、かわいそうだなと思っちゃいますよ。
皆さんよくしていただいてます。和気あいあいと過ごしております。次のね、総理大臣にね、なる方が頑張っていただいて、そういうことも考えて、いい世の中になっていけたらいいと思います。
Many of the elderly I talked to worry about her, as she may gonna take a stricter stance on other Asian countries.
That's crazy. The elders are saying that they're nice and stuff like that, but the younger generation is saying like, nah, fuck them. That's crazy.
And immigration. So it's not so clear that she's gonna actually do that yet. And after all, her party is not the majority in a parliament now. But having the high-ranking position in a country, she might have a lot of influence on that, which concerns me.
Wait, didn't she win though? How old is this video? Today? Oh, I think she won. I forgot the name of this the new female prime minister. She's a conservative as well too. I forgot her name, but I think she won.
Many elderly.
不安ですね。外国人のね、話。昨日もね、なんか NHK でやってたけど、バカみたいなことを言
I
わ
heard
れ
she was also supposed to meet with Donald Trump as well.
ててね、それに、お化粧がすごいしさ。ね、あの年であんなにお化粧してさ。
直に影響を受けないけど、そういうのは増えるんじゃないかっていうちょっと心配はね、聞いててわかりますもん、感じますよね。話だったら日本ね、ダメになっちゃうよね。
だけど、なんか日本国民全般が期待してるという感じですよね、なんとなく。私もしたいんだけど、外国って一言に言うけど、ヨーロッパ系とまたアジア系と全然違いますよ。弱いっていうか、そういうヨーロッパ系とまたアジア系と全然違いますよ。弱いっていうか。
I mean, they are different, but when it comes to what's going on right now in their countries, it's not really that different.
そういうなんとなく。
そういうところに行ってるから移民の方たちの大変さはよくわかります。人種差別はいけません。平等です、人間です。平等でみんな仲間だという気持ちでやらなければ、向こうだって警戒してますからね。
To be fair, some of the elderly I talked to strongly support her stance on immigration.
高市早苗さんを推してます。あの人はやっぱり保守だし、ぶれないじゃないですか。移民っていうのはね、だから犯罪に手を染めるケースがほとんどなんですよ。それとね、あの人たちはね、たむろするんですよね。そういったところには日本人は行かないですよ。例えば、クルド人の問題だとかね。どうしてもこれはね。
It's so crazy seeing that specific group, the Kurds, in Japan, and they're like, what? I guess they're not really. Do they? Let me know if this is the case, because I might be a little bit ignorant on this. What are the Kurds doing in Japan? Not doing there, like going there, but doing there specifically that the Japanese are like, nah, we're sick of them and stuff like that. In the comments, let me know.
厳しい。まあ、いけないんだけれどもね、差別。でもやっぱり差別じゃなくて、区別化ですよね。
Since the rhetoric started to spread, I see many
AKA separate but equal. Well, somewhat equal.
foreign residents confused, anxious, or scared in today's political climate.
I was at work at a baito, at a pub, finished my baito, and a person came up, they just stopped me on the streets, and he started to say, go back home, saying Japanese first. I think he was full of hatred, basically.
Probably saying, deteke, kairu, or probably saying, deteke, like, basically means, like, get out. Like, leave or scram. And kairu, or kairo, or something like that means, like, go home or something like that. I might be butchering it. Let me know. It's been a while since I studied my Japanese or brushed up on it, actually. Deteke and kairu. Kairu or kairo.
Japanese people, they're very respectful. They would never ever go to you. Shizuoka kairo.
Kairo, there you go.
日本人でも because it's a 外国人 they're like, you are 問題 go back home.
日本人ファーストって言われてもどういう意味なのかがしっくりこない。日本だとそもそも私も日本の市民権ないし、投票権とか選挙権とかもない中で、そこの権利とか優遇とかも特にない中言われたとて、逆に例えば賃貸で住みたいってなっても外国人だからっていう理由で拒否られることも多いんですよ。もうすでにそういう。
Is she really being come on, let's be real. Is she really being considered a foreigner? Like I said, bro, depending on how you look, you'll get treated very differently depending on how you look. In Japan, I think most people that could probably blend in with society, probably people won't fuck with them that much, aka Koreans and like Northeast Asians. Hence, again, like Manchu region, like Manchu Chinese people. But let me preface this. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. Of course it happens, that there is discrimination in Japan against Koreans and Chinese people. I get that. But I'm just saying in general, they have a lot better chance of integrating in society because they look like them. Skin color, eye shapes, for the most part, facial features, all that stuff. Compared to someone like me, I'm definitely not going to be treated very kindly, especially now in Japan, and they could clearly see that I'm really not, Asian, Japanese, or Asian at all. Northeast Asian, that is, or any type of Asian. So yeah.
差別がちょっとある中で、さらに日本人ファーストって言われてもコンテクストに合わないかなって、外国人に対してそんなにウェルカミングな雰囲気じゃないっていうのはまずあるので。
Accusations of abusing welfare, stuff like that. It doesn't make sense. A lot of people are just seeing things on Twitter and Reddit and all these different places, and that's creating this image that is fueling parties like Sanseito. I think it's dangerous whenever you have politicians that are saying these things like, if a Japanese person and a foreigner were drowning and I had one life ring, I would toss it to the Japanese person. I expect them to toss it to the Japanese person, but it hurts a bit when you say that. It's scary because it reminds me of what's happening in the US, and I don't want Japan to go down that same path.
Listening to my Japanese friends voice their complaints, I kind of understand where they're coming from. Tourists are coming, being loud in public, or littering, or just not respecting wildlife. I think it's a little sad because, at least in my eyes, a lot of the people coming from overseas do respect the culture and aren't harming Japan at all.
I understand because it's scary when you...
The dumb fucks who go over there are the ones basically ruining it for everybody. That's basically what it is. These dipshits are ruining the experience of Japan for the good people, the good tourists that go there and respect the culture and everything. And now we all get lumped up together. That's basically in every culture. Remember 9/11? I mean, you guys are probably really young who watch me. But in 9/11, when that shit popped off, everybody, Muslims were target number one. Even the ones who were good that never bothered anybody, that been in the country for decades, and basically are American as they come, they got shitted on constantly during 9/11. So shit, it is what it is, man.
Hear about crimes and problems in the news.
In the news, it shows every foreigner is like that, and a foreigner issue, words like issue, problem, threat, the word overflowing, makes it feel so big.
So some foreigners, yes, are terrible. They do disrupt the peace of the society. However, I feel like that media kind of radicalizes them.
All of the foreign residents I know are trying to follow all the rules, trying to make sure you can stay here. A lot of the disruption from foreigners comes from, I've seen it more from tourists. People that come here because the yen is weaker at the moment. They don't know about the culture as much.
But a small bad...
Yeah, Japanese hate that shit. When you say hey, I want to go there because it's fucking cheaper over there. It is easier to live because, it doesn't cost that much. They hate that shit, bro. They don't fucking realize that their currency is dropping because their economy. They don't need a fucking reminder of that shit. And also it's insulting too. That's like someone coming into the United States or my house say, hey, I want to come here because it's cheaper. And it's cheaper than going to a hotel and shit like that. I'm gonna take it a certain fucking way. What? Seriously, is that the only reason why you came here, just because it's cheap? Not because of everything else that we have to offer, just because it's cheap? Yeah, seriously, I can see why some Japanese people, most Japanese people get peeved when they hear that from foreigners.
Minority can ruin it for everybody, so...
To be fair though, not everyone's against the rhetoric. Some people overseas are actually rooting for this trend, as they don't want to see Japan becoming like the West.
So there's a major movement in Japan, it's called the Sanseito Party, that is ascendant, and they are calling out the private, quiet infiltration of foreigners into Japanese society. And I'm cheering them on, because here I am as an American, wanting Japan to remain Japanese. Now, America's picture of national identity is different than Japan's. Japan is tied to their ethnicity. Japan does not want to commit political and cultural suicide, and we commend them for that. Japan should close its borders. Japan should say, nope, we're going to figure out our birth rate problem, which the Japanese birth rate problem is bad, but it's not as bad as Korea's. We should keep Japan Japanese.
Among the Japanese people specifically, it's pretty much divided, and important to know that why they support it or against it. So let me share some of their voices.
今の社会では日本人ファーストっていうのは少し逆行しているのかなとは思います。個人としてはあまり賛同していないですね。そういうふうにどんどん進んでいくことに対して少し恐怖とかも感じています。やっぱり
People keep tossing that, xenophobic shit constantly, but the reality is, bro, every country on this planet is xenophobic to some extent, bro. The countries of Europe, not even United States, even good old Happy Canada is xenophobic. Now they're becoming more xenophobic. You know, the shit I've been hearing against Indian people over there, or South Asia, however they refer to them. Yeah, I mean, they're really getting fucking, like, every country on this planet is xenophobic to some or multiple groups to some extent. I mean, it is that's what it's like to be human, bro. I mean, we typically we're going to be a little more worried on people who don't look like us compared to people who do look like us, you know?
これから外国人の方なしでは日本社会やっていけない部分とてもたくさんあると思うし、日本
But that's interesting what you just said. Hold on.
外国人の方なしでは日本社
I
会
think the Japanese society wouldn't function without foreigners. Yeah, but that's the fault of the Japanese government because, or their society is currently right now. You made it almost impossible for young people and for Japanese young people to fucking live. Basically, again, their yen is weaker now. They can't buy as much stuff as they used to. It's impossible to create a family because the work culture is crazy out there in Japan. 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week by these black companies or black corporations that are basically squeezing them like crazy. There's literally a term called korokoshi that's basically dying or death from work. You have shit like that. It's expensive to have children over there. There's only like what? It's like 1.2% per mom or something like that have children or something like that. Or I'm butchering the number, but it's in the ones. But they don't have the replacement rate. It's like dropping like crazy. There's more old people there that are collecting pensions. There's not enough to feed the system. Yeah, I mean, it's the government's fault for doing this shit. If the government would at least, you know, care more about their citizens and, you know, correct the issues instead of saying, you know what, we can't do anything, we'll have to get some foreigners because our own people are not, you know, popping babies. So, you know, the people, the ethnic Japanese people need to stand up and say, yo, we can't let this keep going. We want to have children, but it's impossible for us. These companies are fucking us. We care about our society. Do something, Japanese government, because we're tired of this shit. You know, eventually it's gonna come to a point if the government doesn't listen, it's gonna come to a point where that's how mass protests or worse revolutions start. I don't think people want to go down that path, man.
やっていけない部分とてもたくさんあると思うし、日本としてそういう方たちを受け入れる体制って変わっていくタイミングなのかなってちょうど今が。
どちらかといえば賛成で、クルド人の問題とかいっぱいニュースあるじゃないですか。外国人で強い日本を維持しようっていう声も聞いたりするけど、日本人にとって当たり前なことが当たり前じゃなくなっていくのは嫌だなって思うんですよね。
日本人ファーストだってなっちゃうと、もちろん日本に勉強しに来たい人とかそういう人の妨げになっちゃうから、政府的にもちゃんとそこら辺の統括ができてないから、ホテルで免許証が取れるみたいな、ああいうので国民が結構強めにいっちゃってるのかなって思うので、ちゃんとした制度整えたり理解を深めたりした方がいいのかなって。
日本人ファーストとかにおいて敵対じゃないけどされてるのって外国人の方が多くて、日本のルールとかに溶け込めないみたいで問題を起こしててみたいな背景があって、移民で治安がとかいろいろ言われてることはあるじゃないですか。
福祉とかそういう税金を使ったものだったりとか、そういった面ではちょっと日本人がやっぱり払ってるところが多いと思うので、そっちは優先すべきだと思う。今多分一番問題なのが少子高齢化だと思うんですよ。少子高齢化が解決すれば移民になって入れる必要もないし、少子高齢化問題しっかり充実させてほしい。
Thank you. What she just said right there. This girl's based for this. We lower it so I can really get a good grasp of it.
今多分一番問題なのが少子。
I think that we should work on the most is failing birth rate. Thank you. And the aging population, like I just mentioned, bro. If we could improve the issue, we don't need to take an immigrant. Yes, thank you. Just like what I just said. Exactly. The government needs to fix the issue of the low birth rates and the aging population, because the aging population, they require more maintenance and they require more help that, due to the fact that, there's not enough Japanese people, that they're not getting enough help. So yeah, instead, their government is importing more people instead of actually fixing the issue within their own people.
移民になって入れる必要もないし、少子高齢化問題しっかり。
I'd rather Japan work on the issue more, as in, helping Japanese people instead of just taking the easy way out and say, hey, just bring in more people from the third world. Because it's unfortunate that the majority of the people that are coming here are not from first world nations, they're coming from third world. At least the migrants are.
充実させてほしい。
日本のルールを踏みにじるのが普通ってなってて、溶け込まなくてもいいみたいな風潮が広まってるのもちょっと良くないかな。
喧嘩するじゃないですか。今対立みたいななってるじゃないですか。そこの点もその人たちにもあるじゃないですか。宗教とか文化とかはあると思うんですけど、やっぱ日本に来てる以上は日本のルール。
Alright, I want them to conform to Japanese rules rather than trying to change them. Yes! Oh my god, yes!
When it comes to
Yes, that's actually a really good fucking point. You're the one coming into his fucking country. So if you want to do that, you gotta acclimate yourself and adjust and, you know, act accordingly and adjust yourself. You can't bring some of the bullshit that you came from your own country, like, or in the Kurds case. Excuse me. In the Kurds case, a non-existent country, and bring it here. If that's the case, then you should have just stayed where you came from then. Like, it makes no fucking sense, that shit, bro. That's like me going to fucking France and then like bringing my Americanness and pushing my Americanness onto them in their own fucking country when I'm clearly not in America.
Immigration, language barrier might be a huge concern for many Japanese people.
個人的な意見ですけど、コンビニとかで例えばお箸をちょうだいって言ってもちょっと話が通じなかったり、そういう不便さっていうのは少しあるけど、まあその少子化の流れっていうか人口減少の流れからするともう仕方ない受け入れていかざるを得ないことではあるっていうのはもう僕は承知してます。
No, you don't have to accept them, bro. You don't have to accept them. You just have to put your foot on the government's neck and demand you fix this issue.
So there are a lot of like big Chinese community there. Some of them don't speak Japanese. It is a little bit difficult to like, get along with them.
まあ僕なんかだと留学生とか結構話しづらいかなって思っちゃうのはやはり言語自信がないからかなとか。
As you know, there's a huge division between us and we rarely interact, even in the same town, campus, or possibly classroom. Actually, my Chinese friend's daughter is refusing to go there as she doesn't want to feel excluded or segregated in the same classroom. And many people in Japan say that elderly people increasingly have a favorable view as they can see that foreign workers are essential for Japan. But maybe most people can't see that yet as we rarely interact with foreign residents, which means we have almost no chance to do that. Especially Chinese people say that's a huge problem because they are the ones who are heavily stigmatized by the media.
A lot of media say something bad for China, but actually in China we do our media will do the same thing. So we hate Japanese.
Dude, China, they heavily probably say that China is bad, bro, for reasons that happened back in WW2.
And that kind of thing. But actually, if we make more communication, that kind of hate will be like decrease. Chinese not that bad,
Language barrier is not the only reason though why it's so hard to break down the segregation.
A lot of people here just not like communicating anything, so I feel like that is a bit hard to connect with people.
I think honestly, if you're a foreigner and you go to Japan, learn some conversational level of Japanese. Straight up. You're going to fucking Japan, like, especially if you want to make friends, definitely brush up on your Japanese to a closely advanced level, an advanced level. All right? If you only go in there for like maybe a month or two, you probably scrape by learning like the basics, maybe slightly a little bit higher. If you're gonna go there like you're trying to make friends or more, get your Japanese, up to like a really advanced level.
Really hard because I think everybody is shy. Japanese people are kind of afraid of talking to me.
A lot of the Japanese students do not interact with the international students, and I think a lot of that time that comes from the expectation that the international students don't speak any Japanese, which more often than not is not the case. I think a lot of the international students here speak decent Japanese now and can have fun conversations with people.
In Japan, most people won't talk to somebody that they don't know, won't talk to other people, especially if they're foreigner, because you don't know if they know Japanese. People are always gonna look at me and assume that I'm a tourist.
Japanese young people don't speak English at all. They also don't make the effort.
語に入ったら語に従えみたいな、その日本に来たからには日本のマナーに従わないといけないっていうのもあると思うんですけど、こっちもそれを理解しようとするのも足りないかなって思いますし、日本から出たことがないとか、日本以外の国から来た人と、
I think when it comes to like East Asian people, I think that Japanese people are more insular, as in they're the least group of Northeast Asian people to travel outside of their own country. We get plenty of Koreans and Chinese people that go and visit other countries across the world, but not many Japanese people. Not saying that they don't exist, of course there are, like especially if you go to the West Coast and like Hawaii, but there's so much more Koreans and Chinese people compared to Japanese that go overseas.
会ったことがないっていうので理解度がちょっと低いのかなっていう人も。
でも日本人の子たちは日本人のコミュニティに満足してるからもう興味がないんじゃないですかねって私は思います。まあ興味がなかったら無理なんじゃないですかね。
これに関しては何か対策すべきこと？
そうですね。皆さんいろいろとお話し合いをねなさるところにどんどん出かけていって、はい、もっと出ていただきたいです。
Americans and foreign people, they are so excited to do the traditional Japanese things. They just don't know about them. They don't know where they are. A lot of times on your city's website, it's only in Japanese. The translate button, it won't work to translate it to English sometimes, or it won't be on the website. For small towns, sometimes you just have to know. Foreigners, we have no way of finding out about the event. So we want to support Japanese events, but I can't even figure out where is the event.
特に非漢字圏の
God, kanji is such a fucking bitch, bro. Bro, hiragana and katakana can probably, me personally, get by with hiragana and katakana, but kanji, good God, that's a fucking beast, bro. My goodness, bro. It's a headache to fucking learn that, man. Oh, God.
方々、ヨーロッパ圏の方々とかはやっぱり漢字に大きな難しさを感じるっていうのは一つ、漢字、ひらがな、カタカナと駆使して情報をゲットしていくっていうのはまあ結構難しい面大きいと思います。で、現在地域での日本語教育とかもたくさんあると思うので、そういう活動がどんどん広がっていくことをすごく。
The population declining in Japan, right? It's a declining birth rate. And some people say immigration is kind of necessary for Japan to maintain the society. So, do you personally think that immigration works for Japan? And how?
I don't think that's gonna work in Japan. Like, 合わせることっていうのが第一に優先されているような。
I personally think it's not gonna work either. The Japanese are like, yo, that samurai spirit in there will just be kicking in like crazy, bro. They'll be like, yo, I'd rather my country like go into the sea, like get destroyed and then dropped into the sea like Atlantis, than have foreigners come in and pretend to be Japanese, bro. I could honestly see a lot of Japanese people saying that. I'd rather die than, have you guys pretend to be one of us. And hey, man, it's their country. They can do whatever the hell they want.
国でやっぱりその移民ってなったらそういう多様性とかも重視されてると思うんですけど、そこを許せる心を持ってない他の国も、例えばドイツとかも移民政策をしてたと思うんですけど、うまくいってないじゃないですか、ヨーロッパとかも。同じ見た目とか近くに住んでるのにたくさん国ができた理由ってやっぱり文化とか意見が違うからじゃないですか。っていうの成り立ちを考えたら、まあうまくいかないのは当たり前なのかなっていうふうに思います。
The economy to go on, maintain the current quality of life. It's just inevitability. There will be like conflicts between like different races. That's like an inevitability. To either die out or just accept multiculturalism, I believe, which is an inevitability.
I think immigration will work for Japan. We do need to keep Japanese culture quite intact, but foreign influence is also good. It's how a country moves forward.
If they can't assimilate into
I'm on
the
the fence about that one.
They won't ever become a part of the community.
Not every country is like America, bro. Excuse me. Not every country is like the United States. And they shouldn't try to be. If they don't want it, we shouldn't force them. What they need to do is fix their internal problems first before, they start accepting shit, if they choose to, accepting shit from like other people, like other cultures and other ethnicities before that, you know what I mean?
And then it's just the country will be split into native Japanese and foreigners.
I think it's necessary at this moment in time. Japanese get to learn other cultures.
Kind of understand why
forcing them to learn other cultures either is not a good thing either. Never force people to do something they don't want to do. Just saying.
Japanese people are kind of worried, but our generation is not into having kids. Japanese people don't want kids. Okay, so why don't we accept immigrants? You need people.
With the declining birth rate, I think immigration is going to be necessary. It's sad if it's necessary because I also don't want the culture to change, but hopefully the immigrants also can be changed to behave to the Japanese culture.
I understand it's also a point of concern, but
it still doesn't work, bro. It is something about it. I mean, if I look at someone like from a different country, like in Japan, even if they grew up in Japan, I'm still gonna look at them a little bit like, it's just not the same. You know, yeah, you speak Japanese and you have the mannerisms and the culture. Basically, yeah, it's just Japanese as it comes, but it's just not the same, man. You know, it's just not the fucking same. I can't put my finger on it. It's just not the same. We already know what it is, but I'm just saying it's not the same.
Japanese culture is very strong until now, even with the massive tourists and a lot of immigrants.
Of course, like, you know, it's a bad idea to like accept all immigrants blindly. So government should have like mandatory Japanese classes for those coming here and like Japanese cultural classes.
移民国家みたいになるよりは、別に日本人として仲良くちょっとずつ廃れていっても。
出生率上げればね、例えば子供ができたら 3LDK のところを確保するとか、それから学校のことだとか、だから私は日本の人口をもう少しいう感じで移民を入れるのは私は反対です。だからなんとなく高市さんがいいかなと思っているんですけれども。
Okay, so hey, there's a reason why she won. There's a reason why she fucking won, man.
We're gonna have a new prime minister, right? What do you hope for? What kind of change do you want to see?
日本人だけが一番偉い
Only Japanese people who speak Japanese should be valued here.
じゃなくなればいいなって感じですね。もっとなんか幅広い人が底上げされたらいいな。
日本がそのまんま潰れないでいてほしいですよ。それが一番のもうあれ。
結婚できるように若い人のね、給料を上げてってあげたいですよね。何しろお金がないと、はっきり言って結婚もできないし、子供も作れないから、味方になる。
At least that boomer understands what's going on, man.
ようなもの何もないじゃないですよね。
私は減税だとか給付なんて、私もそんなありがたいですよ、やっていただけ。でもそんなのどうでもいいんです。それよりも、日本という国が平和で、皆さんが昔の時代のように平和で良かったわねって言っていただける平穏無事な日本にしていただくのが私の希望です。
Yeah. Hey man, really good fucking video by the Japan reporter. Shout out to you, my dude. Yeah, bro. I mean, best thing to do. Like, I agree with some of the stuff that they're saying. As in, they have, in my honest opinion, stop investing in shit for foreigners and start investing more in your people, ethnic Japanese people, to fix the birth rate, make it easy for young people to have children, as in, you know, basically, I don't know, really good tax cuts and like giving them like a stipend for like having an extra child, like to have at least minimum of 2, so that they can have, you know, increase the population, you know, and make it easy for them to buy a home, you know, help with the wages, stuff like that, put regulations so that these black companies don't exploit these people and, you know, commit korokoshi. You know, there's a lot of things you can do. That's just a few that are at the top of my head. But, you know, hopefully Japan gets their shit together. Hopefully most of the world gets their shit together, but Japan specifically.